So before we get started on my next set of photos, I just want to say that I am actually way more happy with the black and white photos than the portrait. I felt at the beginning like it was going to be the opposite, but I feel that I got photos that are much better composed with my point and shoot. And I think the main reason for that is because there's one button here, guys. One button. You look at your subject, you think about it, you press the button, you're done. You open it, you take the photo. With the Minolta, I was still focusing on aperture, I was still focusing on, you know, the focusing, because it's manual focus. I guess I could have shot, you know, in range focus, but whatever. So I feel like my compositions just came out better. Like I said, guys, this video is pretty chill, so don't mind me. But our next adventure was at Pacific Beach. This is in San Diego. Arguably one of the best beaches in San Diego. Like if you go there, if you go to San Diego, you have to visit Pacific Beach. There's just a lot of people. The beach is sick. There's a cool pier. It's just got this energy to it. I don't know how to describe it, but it was such a great place to go at sunset. And what happened, I had my point and shoot and the light was good. We hadn't seen sun for like 2 weeks. And I had black and white. I was like, oh my God. The first day that it's sunny and I have black and white in my point and shoot and I'm in an amazing location, you gotta be kidding me. So anyways, my wife and I grabbed some coffee, we walked around and I snapped some photos. So I'll show you guys those clips and talk about some of my favorite photos that I took at Pacific Beach.
I'm going to ask you, what is the dream that you have? And then most importantly, why is it important to you? And so you're going to answer the question, then you're going to pass the person to your right.
So as you guys know, like my style of photography is sort of capturing moments that represent slow living. You know, I like to take pictures of people just kind of like, you know, admiring the coast, people just slowing down and enjoying life because life has just gotten way too fast, way too busy. And, you know, we're forgetting that we need to also relax. You know, we need to take time for ourselves. It's not all about work, you know. So that's how I feel, and maybe that's why I take the photos I take, is because that's sort of that longing for the slow living just kind of, you know, manifests itself in my photos. So for example, I really liked this photo of this guy. You know, he's laying in the grass next to his bike parked up. Then you got the couple in the chair sort of enjoying a good time together, and then you got the other girl who's sitting in the middle by herself, and it almost looks like the guy is looking at her wondering, you know, should I go ask her for her number? Maybe he wasn't actually thinking that, but it just looks that way. And I just love the way his body position is. It almost looks like, you know, like he's modeling in a way. And you can tell based on the contrast that there's some really good light. I'm telling you, man, the light was super good. You know, it looks like the other guy's saying a prayer by the palm tree whatever. And then you have like the, you know, the things that come with film, right? So this could have been in a pretty great photo. I think it still is, but then you get whatever this chemical reaction happened on the photo. I don't know what they did. Maybe they were watching YouTube and the guy just let it sit for too long and whatever. Or maybe he was taking out his mac and cheese and he left it for too long and it burned. And then it burned a hole through my photo. I don't know, man, I'm just making things up. But yes, I really like this photo. And again, guys, it's so interesting that I seek out sort of these moments, because when I go back and look at my work, you know, I notice that they're just chill moments, right? Just sort of moments of nostalgia, moments of slow living, people surfing, people enjoying life. I have like 3 or 4 favorites, and this next one here was this guy. He was on the pier and he was like, you know, smoking his cigarette, you know, trying to catch some fish. And I just like the whole composition. I've taken pictures of fishermen before, but something about this one just looked better in my opinion, almost like a movie in a way. I think, again, I was shooting black and white, but I was seeing in color. I think I just really like the colors in this scene. It's hard to tell, but some, you know, there's some pastel colors. You know, just this guy, just, you know, he had rented out this little cabin right there and he's just enjoying life. And, you know, this lens is a 32 mil, so I had to get pretty close to him to get this nice perspective. There's something about it I just really like. My next favorite photo was at this certain point in the sidewalk, all these kids were like skateboarding. You know, there's like cops watching them and stuff. It just looked like kind of a crazy scene. But yeah, I noticed this one kid with a beanie, and he had like these dreads and whatnot, and I snapped a couple of photos of him. The first one being this one. I think this was the first photo I took. I just was kind of feeling out this situation, waiting for him to kind of go into the light. He eventually did. You got some action around him. You know, you got the guys walking on the sidewalk, the muscle man on his bike. Just kind of this just natural scene, a day in the life in Pacific Beach. Second photo, I really started to focus on him. You know, I saw him skating. I wanted him to kind of be skating past me, maybe get a little motion blur. I think that's what I was going for this one. But again, you know, with the point and shoot, you have no control, so I couldn't control that obviously, so there's no motion blur. I do think it was cool how the guy like behind him was like looking at him, and you know, his girl was like looking away. Again, there's some nice contrast here with the shadow and then the sun. Then on the third photo, I know I'm not creepy. It's just, this is what you got to do when you do, you know, documentary or street photography, is kind of just hanging around in the area and just waiting for sort of a scene to develop. And I saw him sit down on his board, sort of just like taking a break, you know, hands spread out, you know, and then you got his buddy standing next to him. And when I saw this photo, guys, I lost it. I just love this photo. I don't really know what it's about, but it just reminds me of like, you know, a photo that you would see for like a brand, you know, something that's just like, I don't know how to describe it. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is how I go out and shoot. I know a lot of people do. They go out and shoot based off of feel. Sometimes there's not always like a sort of mission, right? A sort of theme, you know, there's not like something that you're going out specifically looking for. I don't know. I think, you know, part of it is just like the sort of the story behind it. And I feel like all the photos that I really liked, you know, in this set is because it depicts like a story, right? It depicts a greater meaning behind the photo. And like this guy, you know, he's just sitting there. You got all these people walking by him. You know, it's a very fast scene. You know, skater boys on the other side. And he's just sitting there, sitting on his board, not a care in the world. Maybe he's thinking about life, you know, etc., etc. It's just, I don't know. I really like this photo. Last but not least, I think this was actually the first photo I took when we got there. I was pretty courageous. We got there and there's like, imagine there's like this side street that leads up to the sidewalk, and then it's the beach, you know, and then the water. And parked up on the side street, like right by the sidewalk, right where everybody is walking, was this this African-American gentleman. He had his car parked up there, radio blasting. I can't even remember what song it was, but it was like some old school hip hop. And he was just like, you know, chilling there like this with his shades on, just freaking in the zone, man. And then you have this guy in the photo who was like, you know, standing by him. He had his like artwork on the ground. You know, he was selling his work or whatever. And, you know, I looked at him and I really just liked his outfit. I thought it was very unique with the chains, the glasses, and the top hat, the long hair. He kind of just has that, like, you know, Cali look. First, I tried the African-American gentleman. I mean, dude, this would have been like an epic photo, but the guy said no. I looked at him like, hey man, you know, that's a sick car you got there. What kind is it? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then afterwards, I asked him for his photo and he just flat out said no. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. So I walked away and then I approached this guy, started talking to him. And I think maybe I had better luck with him because I actually took maybe 10 to 12 minutes and just talked about him, his work, you know, how he got into this and et cetera, et cetera. And then at the end of it, I was like, hey man, look, I'm a photographer. I'm just trying to document, you know, Pacific Beach. I said, what would you think about me taking your portrait? And he was cool. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. But, you know, he didn't want to be taken. I wanted to do it in front of his artwork, but he wasn't comfortable with that. So I was like, okay, you know, just face this way. So the sun is hitting him, and always you should have your subject sort of facing the sun. So it doesn't mess up exposure. And he just kind of put his arms behind his back. Like I said, I'm not a portrait photographer, so I didn't really like tell him how to stand. He just kind of stood like that, and I just snapped a picture. Like I didn't even say ready, set, go. I just took it because I just thought his positioning was perfect. He's got like this smile on his face where it just like, he knows he just killed it. He sold like 3-4 photos. I don't know if he did or not, but I'm just making a scene. And yeah, the lighting on his face, like it's half exposed, and there's like some shadow there. It's just beautiful, you know. He's got a nice emotion on his face. I don't like the two chicks on the side, but it's street photography. You're gonna get stuff in the photo that you don't like, so it is whatever. But I think there's so much good emphasis on him that you don't really notice the rest too much. Yeah, this was a great photo. So yeah, that was pretty much a month of adventures with film. I'm curious to know what you guys think of this style of video. I think it's really fun to sort of take the cameras out for an entire month, you know, go to different things, have different adventures, and kind of just sit down with a cup of coffee and talk about it, and show you guys the photos that I got. It's kind of better, I think, than, you know, slapping out 3-4 videos in a week. You know, you're gonna get bored of me, you're gonna get tired of me. So not seeing me for a while and then coming out with some film photos is, I think, pretty cool. You know, let me know, guys, if you like it. I'm probably gonna do it again. I recommend you do a detox if you shoot a lot of digital. Grab a film camera, grab a point and shoot, and just take it with you. Take it with you everywhere you go. And I also want to mention that I am selling my Sony a6400. Yeah. It is that time, guys. I'll make another video explaining why, but yeah, I will be selling that. It's on OfferUp right now, and it's available to any of you guys. Just the body. I'm keeping the lenses because, like I said, I'm staying Sony, but I'm just selling the body. Send me a DM if you're really interested. I'm telling you, it's super clean. Take good care of my stuff. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys in the next video. Really hope you liked it. Check out the website. Any photo you see that you like, you can get a print of it. Just let me know. And have some merch coming soon. That's going to be exciting. Have some cool merch, especially for my car guys out there. And of course, we have the presets. Those are there. It's been a fun month, guys. I really do appreciate all the support I've gotten recently. Stay well, take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So far, I've only been shooting film. I'm gonna just stick to shooting film. I'm not even gonna shoot any digital.